Aloha, Hawaii, Ohana. I have a feeling that I'm sensing that probably the coconut wireless is alive and well right about now, spreading through the islands. This recent news of a decision that Sharon and I have made. And if you have not heard it as of yet, it is true. We have made a decision that has us transitioning to the mainland. Just recently, just been sensing that perhaps it is time for us, at least, a new season of life and living that will be on the mainland closer to family. So the plan is that we're going to be right here in Hawaii through the constituency session, which is still scheduled for April 24. That day, delegates from all around the conference will have the opportunity to vote a brand new president for the Hawaii conference. And immediately following, we'll pack, and on May 1, we will make that move closer to family, closer to our parents, closer to our children, closer to the precious grandchildren who are just growing up way too quickly. But I will tell you that the biggest disappointment for us is that there's just not enough time for us to travel throughout the conference, churches, schools, wherever it may be, but to just be there with you personally and to just be able to share from the heart this news, to be able to express to you once again how much you mean to us with hugs and aloha. There's just not enough time. What I have done is that I have written kind of like an official letter that has more details in it. If you haven't had a chance to read that as of yet, you can find it. Just go to the Hawaii Conference website, and there is the letter. But after 16 years of just living life with you here in these islands of aloha, it occurs to me that words written on a sheet of paper can never adequately express the aloha of the heart. And so that's the reason why I have decided to just put this little video together, and hopefully that you can hear this aloha as I express it to you from Sharon and myself. You know, it is true. Hawaii is just a stunningly beautiful place to live. I mean, we get it. It's the reason why those of us that live here from time to time, well, I mean, we'll just simply express, lucky we live Hawaii, because it's just intoxicating, the beauty of Hawaii. But you need to understand that as president, I mean, I literally over the years have traveled to different places around the world. And as soon as people know that I'm from Hawaii, the first question they'll ask is, so what do you love most about Hawaii and the islands? Of course, they're anticipating that I'm going to be talking about the white sandy beaches, the blue azure water, the coconut trees, palm trees, all the tropical fruit, and all the rest of it. It's true. We love all of that. But I looked them in the eyes, and this is what I said. I said, listen, what makes Hawaii Hawaii, and what I love the most is what makes Hawaii Hawaii, it's the people. It's the aloha. It is you. And that's the reason why Sharon and I are trying to express to you as best as we can how much you mean to us. I mean, please, the aloha that you have lavished on us through the years. I mean, the lays that we have received through the years. I mean, from the moment of arriving here on these islands, I mean, hardly a week goes by, but what I'm receiving lays, a week, lays, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lays through the years. And I've shared this with some of you that early on, as I begin to understand it, I mean, the lay was so beautiful, and the meaning behind it with the aloha, I just simply could not. I mean, it just wasn't who I am. I could not throw that lay away. And so I made the decision that every lay that I received, I was going to take it to the Cemetery of the Pacific, that military cemetery there at Punch Bowl. And I have placed hundreds through the years, hundreds of lays on a military grave to pass on the aloha to those who deserve it far more than I do. So for the aloha, we cannot express enough how much it means to us. You know, through the years, we have received invitations to go to other places, to lead, to serve. But every time it's just been far too difficult to even think about, and far too painful to even consider leaving because of our love for you. And so I just want you to know how much you mean to us? I mean, from the moment of arriving here on these islands, it's just been home. It has just felt like home. And and it's because of how I was raised and where I was raised in Korea and Singapore. And so you just need to know that it has been such a privilege of mine to serve you as president here in Hawaii. A humble honor that I will never, ever, ever forget in that opportunity. Hawaii has been home for us. Speaking of home, I think I should pause and just remind you once again that paradise is not spelled Hawaii. Paradise is spelled Heaven. And so for the next several weeks, Sharon and I are going to enjoy this time on the islands with you. But come May 1, on May 1, it will be time for us to say, Ahui ho, until we meet again in heaven's paradise. Aloha.